Hey folks, how you guys doing today? Jimmy Roberts here, your local real estate professional, and as promised, today I'm going to walk through some of the inconsistencies and horrible appraisal practices that I saw in a recent appraisal given to me by my friend. Okay, so here's the backstory. The backstory is this. About a week ago, I received a call from a friend of mine. He's selling a two-family property. That means he has it's a two-unit property. It's one building and it has two living units in it. Commonly here in the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, we call those two-family flats. Okay, in this particular case, there's a duplex. They're side by side. Okay, so you got it. You got one single unit sitting on one side, one single unit on the other side. The homeowner owned both, and they were both combined. Okay, there you go. A two-family duplex. Not a big deal. So here's the problem. He sold the property and had it contracted for a price of $115,000. That means he had received an offer for $115,000 for this property. One unit was rented by a long-term renter, been there for, 4 or 5 years. And the other unit had just become vacant because he just put the other person had just left for whatever reason. So that's the background. Alrighty. Now he sent me this appraisal because based on everything that he had been provided and him and his real estate agent had seen in the local market, the price of $115 was a reasonable price. So he was concerned when he got an appraisal for $90,000. That's right. 115 is what the contract price was. $90,000 was the appraised value. Now, before we get too far going here, I want to be clear. Just because the appraisal value was $90,000 and the contract price was $115,000 does not mean that the appraiser was wrong. It doesn't mean that the appraiser made any mistakes or anything like that. That is not why I have an issue with the appraisal. So just to get that out the way, it's not about the value, it's about the process. I'm going to say that again. It's not about the value, it's about the process or lack of process in this case. Okay, so here we go. We're going to jump right into this. So as you can see here, this is the first page. I've highlighted a lot or blocked out a lot of the names of the innocent, or should be soon to be innocent, so that we don't have too many issues here. But this is the house. As you can see, it's a two-family duplex, pretty standard. As a matter of fact, just as an aside, on this block, there are about 30 of them. So it's about 30 on one side of the street and 30 on the other side of the street, and for about a 3-block radius. So it's sitting in the neighborhood of other two-family duplexes. That's important. So here we go. So we're going to break this video up into this series into multiple pieces. But we're going to start with page 1 right now. So here you go. So as I said, we have the unit, and we're going to focus on this piece here. The contract price was $115. It's an urban property, 75%. It's built up, market stable according to this appraiser. And here's the first inconsistency. So the first thing the appraiser does is say that for 2 to 4 family housing, which is small income properties, just like this property here, he says that there were none sold. Think about that. He has no sales data for any properties. How do I know? Because he has a bunch of zeros right here. This is supposed to be the sales range of the 2 to 4 family properties in the area that you're considering that were reasonably comparable to the subject. As you can see here, these are all zeros. But as you can also see, even though he has all zeros here, look at this. What are you looking at? You're looking at ages. That just doesn't make sense, right? Of course it doesn't make sense. Already we have some issues. We have some. So let's take a look at that. So if I bring this on here, give it a little bit more light. The immediate questions you have as an appraiser as a reviewer appraiser, or heck, as anybody, right? The first question you have to ask yourself is this: how is it that there are no values here? You have values for ages, which means that you found some 2 to 4 family properties because you got an age range there. But you have no sales price values. That doesn't make sense. Even if the property sold for $1,000, you should still have some data there, right? So that's a consistency thing. That's the first thing that you should see that is an issue with this appraisal. All right? That's the first thing you should see that's an issue with this appraisal. There are some others, and we're going to walk through them in other videos. But I want you to keep in mind, consistency is one of the key functions of an appraisal. If you are walking through an appraisal and it is not consistent with the most basic of information, how can you trust the rest of it? Alrighty? So that is the first thing we need to be concerned with when we're reviewing an appraisal: consistency and reliability. Alrighty? So we'll finish the rest on the next video.